All right.
Wow.
Okay, here we are.
Unfiltered Coffee, episode 100, celebrating our 100th episode today. It just doesn't feel like we've done that many.
No, I mean, I can remember our first couple episodes, and they were a while back, and it's
Yeah.
great to be here. Episode 100. So in honor of
So you're drinking tea today.
yeah, in honor of this milestone, I'm drinking
It's messed up.
a bag of green tea I found in my kitchen. I don't know where it came from.
Today I am drinking my own first roast coffee. Very first time I've ever roasted it. Ground it up this morning. Made some coffee.
Grind it up with your bare hands.
Yeah. No. Used a regular grinder.
A regular grinder.
Yeah. Actually, that's not true. I made a cup last night and it was messed up. It was like definitely under roasted. So I just like popped the beans back on there for a little bit longer.
It's better now.
Yeah, it's like perfect.
Nice.
I did so I ordered a light roast from the same company that I ordered the green coffee beans from.
Sure.
And this morning I brewed like 2 of like the same volume, same weight of coffee of their light roast versus my light roast.
Okay.
Not a whole lot of difference.
Nice. Do you like?
Some would even say mine was better.
Some might say that.
It was crazy.
Did you just like? Did you do it over the stovetop? Like, how'd you?
I did. Well, first I did it over the fire. I have one of those solo stoves.
Right.
And I just had a cast iron pan. And you just put your beans in there, like enough just to form like one layer of beans across your cast iron.
Okay.
You just like shake it the whole time or like stir it with a spoon.
Right.
I don't know. I watched some like how-to videos and they were like, oh, you're going to want a heat gun and you're going to want to make sure this is like 300 degrees Fahrenheit like the whole time that you're roasting, and you're going to, and then yeah, that's just not possible on like a wood fire. I watched another thing. I don't know if you've seen this guy. He's actually kind of interesting. He like dresses up like a colonial American, and like his whole channel is he does everything like it's 1780 basically. Yeah, and he had an episode on coffee.
Yeah, I was gonna say like, coffee's old, and
Yeah.
you know, like modern roasting technologies are pretty young, so people have been roasting like that a long time.
Yeah, I mean, I guess all they did, they literally just would always put it in like cast iron or whatever they had and just put it on an open fire. But I guess they used to drink it more of a dark roast.
Yeah, probably.
I was sick of like turning it around, so and I just wanted to see how light of a roast I could get. So anyways, I roasted it first on that, and then you're supposed to let it sit for a day, but I just wanted to try it out. So
Oh, yeah, you have to rest
I
it.
ground some last night. It was just like way too hard. Like it sounded like there were rocks in my grinder. It ground, but it just wasn't very fine. And it was like tan, like very light
Oh, yeah.
brown, basically yellow. And it smells like peanut butter or something, like fresh ground peanuts. It just really nutty. And I made it and it came out like light roast is still usually pretty brown from what I've seen, but this was like almost yellow. It didn't taste bad. It just tasted different. It tasted more, I don't know, vegetal and nutty as opposed to fruity.
I have a light roast from just like a store down the road.
Yeah.
That it tastes like you made a half a cup of coffee and put a half a cup of vegetable soup in there. It's so
that's kind of,
vegetably.
yeah, I feel like it's kind of like that. But this next one, it was pretty good.
All right.
And I think, I don't know, when I've been around people that drink light roast, they always do pour overs. But I don't have any of the pour over stuff. So I just made a French press and just used a little bit less water.
Okay.
Seemed to work. I've noticed that the mocha pot does not really like light roast coffee. I don't know if you have experienced that at all.
Maybe I have.
I've seen that you're supposed to use less because it absorbs more water.
I made a mocha pot this morning and it was pretty good. I have it's a blend that has like blueberry and some other fruit. But when you like, if you smell the like, if you open up the bag, it like fills the room and it smells like dried blueberries in there.
Is it flavored or that's just the smell of the coffee?
I don't think it's flavored. I think it's just like how it was roasted. It might have been roasted with something.
Yeah. If you see me like reaching up here and if this shakes at all, it's because my mouse is frozen and it keeps popping up like I'm right clicking and I keep hitting escape. But it seems like the recording is still going and like the tab isn't frozen, but my mouse won't move.
Okay.
It either like it makes like a thing like I'm right clicking or it like pulls up the search bar. And that's very nice. I've never seen that before. That's funny. I'm just gonna keep going until it actually freezes.
That's funny.
But yeah, it was a lot of fun. So yeah, so when it was too light, like it was so light, I don't even know if you could call it like roasted coffee at that point. I guess so. When I was looking, there's like a first, what do they call it? Like first crack and second crack, or it's something different, but it's like it pops almost like popcorn. And I don't think they all like popped.
No, weird.
Yeah. So then I just threw it on the stove. We have a gas stove.
Right. And
I just heated it up longer and it started popping.
That's pretty cool. I didn't know.
And the other thing I didn't realize, there's a bunch of chaff on it. There's like an outer shell, like a regular bean. So like the whole time you're shaking it, like chaff is like flying. And it's another reason why I did it outside, because the beans can kind of smoke if you do it hot enough.
That's my light roast. When I grind it, it's just filled with like those little fines from the shell. Yeah.
So I don't think I'm going to invest in a roaster. I'm just going to pan roast it.
Yeah.
But the reason I actually bought it is because I was watching this guy, like one of those weird health gurus on YouTube.
Yeah.
He makes green coffee, like unroasted, like somehow he mashes up like unroasted beans and he just soaks them in water for a while and it makes a tea. And he's like, he said, this stuff's awesome. Well, this is why I wanted to, okay. So there's this stuff.
Coffee Verde.
Cobra Verde, yeah.
Cobra. There it is.
Cobra.
Blurry.
And yeah.
There we go.
I don't know what my webcam's like.
That's cool.
This stuff I remember when I was living in Bloomington, I ordered a drink at a local coffee shop and it was called Cobra Verde. But they didn't serve it in the can. Like they just like poured it over ice and gave it to me.
Okay.
And it was awesome. Like I loved it. I felt so good. And then I don't know why, like a week or two ago, I thought about like that drink that I had. Because it has green coffee extract, but it just tastes like ginger and citrus. And it's lightly carbonated. So I was like, okay, I'm going to look it up. I thought it was like a drink that they made in house. Cause like they make their own, they made their own syrups and like mixed drinks and stuff there. So I look it up and there's a brand, this Cobra Verde thing, and it's like the same description. So I'm assuming it's the same thing. I don't really have any idea. But this brand is pretty wild. They're like, they have basically no following. Like you go to their Instagram and stuff and it's like this guy like just working, I don't know, like out of like a small warehouse or his garage or something. And he makes he's like experimenting with these weird drinks.
Oh man.
Their labeling is hilarious. They have a YouTube channel that they have like a commercial that they just like put together that only has like 400 views or something like that. That's talking about like how like roasting coffee is like bad and how like the true like essence is like green coffee. Like it says on this thing, it says the most ancient secret of coffee, like green coffee. Hold on, let me pull up their website. So it's cool stuff. The one and only, the original, the most notorious beverage of all time, loved by many, hated by some, respected by all. Refreshment in its purest form.
Hated by some on their own product.
Before the dawn of time, wine was just grapes left on the vine, and coffee was raw and green, not a roasted thing. Paleo Verde, stronger, cleaner, and tastier than the roasted stuff. 180 milligrams of caffeine from green unroasted bean. Clean, green energy. And they have like this page, it says mythology.
Okay.
And it talks about like the founder, like coming up with it. And then there's one where they're talking about like, oh yeah, here we go. Cobra Verde is the manifestation of the wisdom of the ancients. It is the genesis and godhead of brewed coffee. Cobra Verde was there on the windswept plateau of Giza for the building of the pyramids and the Sphinx. Cobra Verde was there when Krishna lifted Mount Govardhana, and Cobra Verde was there when Moses parted wide the Red Sea. It's hilarious.
I don't know if I want to drink that.
I drank one can. I'm not going to drink one right now because I've probably had enough caffeine today. Since I've been like sampling like all the roasts I had. And that has a ton of caffeine in it. But it's pretty good. I had one and I survived, so. You could tell like they probably like they made this label themselves and probably like put it on there.
Yeah, probably.
You ever buy like kombucha from like local places and you can like peel the like
yeah, label? It's just like it's just an aluminum can.
Like it's like taped on. No, their label is pretty good. I like it.
Where do you get it? You order it?
I ordered it online. They're out of somewhere in Iowa. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
So that's how I started this whole thing. I looked at their thing. I ordered that. And then I was like, I'm just going to order the green coffee beans at the same time. See if I can make my own drink. Here we are. I ended up just roasting them. I still haven't tried to do the green thing. I don't know how he grind. Like he was saying like, oh yeah, this will like break your grinder. But like I have a grinder dedicated to just grinding like the green beans. And
you need like a high powered blender probably.
Yeah, I think that's what he ended up. I think he ended up doing it in a blender. Yeah. But everybody that drinks it, they're like, "Oh, this is cleaner caffeine than like roasted. Like you're gonna get like a nice, like even, like caffeine buzz. Like no jitters, no crash."
I don't know if I believe.
I have no idea.
I think I might be in your head.
I don't know.
I don't know, man.
I'm trying to think of. Yeah, I don't know.
Seems funny.
You do. I mean, there is something about like different types of alcohols for some reason have different effects, but there's probably just so many things in them.
Yeah. I bet sugar's a big part of it. I wonder if
maybe I have no idea. It's processed less. There's maybe you don't have to like filter out the chalk. I mean, usually like ingesting things that are burnt is not necessarily good for you. So maybe there's like burnt acids and stuff in your roasted coffee.
Not in mine.
No,
I don't drink that crap.
You drink the flavor. You drink blueberry coffee.
It's pretty good. It's not flavored coffee.
Flavored? Are you sure? Oh, so it's not flavored. It's just
no. I can hang on. I know where it's from. I'll look them up real quick.
Flavored coffee's pretty good. It's probably like definitely cancerous, I'm gonna guess, but there's have you ever been to Cherry Republic in Michigan?
No.
That just made me think of it. Somehow blueberries to cherry. I feel like cherry's a good flavor in coffee.
So mine's from Rising Star in Cleveland. You've been there.
Oh yeah.
And it's
been there one time.
It's an Ethiopian blend.
Mm-hmm.
It says
Ethiopian's good.
Notes of blueberry pie, lavender, and honey.
Okay.
And it says the process is the honey process, whatever that means. But it's just coffee beans.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
There's have you ever had coffee like the cherry, like the fruit of a coffee bean?
No.
It's called cascara or cascara. It's so like coffee comes in like a red fruit.
Yeah, I've seen it. I know the fruit.
But I've been to this one place, they make a drink out of it. Actually,
Coffee.
GT's now has a pretty good drink out of it. No, it's not coffee. It's like a fruit. Oh my gosh, this thing keeps popping up. Stop.
Mm-hmm.
Where was I? Cascara. Yeah. Have you ever had GT's brand of? They have like a root beer and a cola and something else. It's not kombucha. It's an apple cider vinegar drink that's carbonated.
I don't think I've even seen those in the stores.
They're really good. They put a bunch of mushrooms in them and all kinds of wild stuff. But anyways, there's this coffee roaster in Ypsi in Michigan. Yeah, I can't think of the name right now. But they had this cascara drink that's really good. And I wish I knew how they processed that like fruit to make the extract. I don't know if they just like, maybe that's what they do. Maybe they just make like a syrup or like an alcohol extract of it. You look like you're intently searching for something.
Yeah, I was. But I didn't find it. That's okay.
Did you ever have GTs? Let's talk about discontinued GTs products. Okay. Did you ever have their line called Dreamcatcher? It had CBD in it?
No.
It was like an apple cider vinegar drink with CBD in it. Before, I think there must have been a ban on putting like CBD in drinks.
I missed this in the stores too. I'm looking at the bottle.
Oh, it's cool. Is it like in this blue bottle?
Yeah,
it has like
cool
dream catchers and stuff on it. And it was like, I don't know. Some other drinks like literally make you feel like somewhat euphoric a little bit, or like just a little, like they changed something in you. I don't know what it is. Or like the very first kombucha we ever had, there was something going on in that I don't get anymore. Because that's the other thing. They came out and I don't know what they did. They changed their regulations on kombucha, like on raw kombucha.
Oh, okay.
And I don't know if you noticed, but the GT's original, they have to sell it in the alcoholic section now, and nobody carries it anymore, except for like Whole Foods or something. And what they still sell, like that green one and like their original and stuff, it used to be sold like in that classic original one, but now they moved it to that Synergy brand, which is, for some reason, that's like never done. It's never made me feel the same as like whatever was in that
I don't
original.
think it's strong.
But that's so weird. It can't be the alcohol though. Like, what is it? Because it's literally just like 0.5% alcohol to 1% alcohol. Like, maybe. Is it pasteurized or something? But it can't be because they still call it raw. I don't know.
I think it's probably just falling under like the same thing as like when you buy like non-alcoholic beer, how they still like ID you. I don't
I
know.
know, but I'm saying what could be so different in that product? Like I can
Oh, I
tell a
mean, it's
clear difference between the two products.
I bet it's just fermented a little bit longer.
That's crazy.
It's just been bubbling in there a little bit more.
I would say kombucha is one of the products like brand to brand that I can tell the most difference between. Like even
Yeah, and
like products at like the same price point.
it's probably also just because of the like the bacteria they have in their facilities. Like
That's crazy.
it's probably it probably is from a different thing. Like it's different bacteria, so like it's making it differently.
I kind of hate talking about this because it sounds so douchey. I mean, so does like talking about kombucha or
Yeah,
whatever.
no.
But
We're sophisticated.
have you ever had or heard of natural wine?
No.
I think this is like just the next step. Like once you get on the kombucha train and you're like already like slandered for being a kombucha drinker and stuff, like you might as well just dip your toe into natural wine, just go all the way. But anyways, so natural wine, it doesn't have any sulfites or sulfates. I forget
Okay.
which it is. So it has no additives and it doesn't even have added yeast. So it just ferments from the yeast that is already growing on the grapes or that is in like the barrel or the cellar that they put it
Okay.
in. So I guess it's how they traditionally made wine in like France and Spain, just like in their caves and their like underground cellars and stuff. But it's starting to become pretty popular again. But it seems like it's really hard to quality control it. Like you could get like a dud or you could get like the best wine you've ever had. Just because they don't it's hard to know like what's going on. So like other wines they add the yeast they want, they control for sugar so they know like the exact amount of alcohol basically that's going to produce. They add like this stable like they add like the sulfates or sulfites that basically stop the fermentation right when they want it, and then it's like that's a done product. But this thing is still like even when they bottle it and everything, it still is like has stuff going on. So it's naturally sparkling because it still is like alive somehow.
It sounds expensive.
Not really. Like you can get it for like $15 or $20 a bottle.
It's not so bad.
No, it's actually like it's very mid. Like you can never like you can't get like the $5
Right.
bottle, but I also rarely see like the 100 or 1,000 or whatever.
Yeah.
Like collect like people don't really collect it. I mean, I shouldn't say that. They probably do, but I haven't seen like the outrageous like collection of it.
I went to this guy's house in Pennsylvania, and he's been making wine in his basement for like 15 or 20 years.
Yeah.
And he had us like tasting, and he just had like probably like 40 different little like vials and bottles up on this shelf with like labels he made in like Microsoft Word. And it was like real dirty down there. It was not a clean area. And he was like, yeah, I could try this. And he would be poured into a Dixie cup and try it. And every single one was like thick and medicinal. And we'd be like,
was it aged? Like, was it supposed to be thick or?
I think it was just bad.
Oh.
And we'd sip it and be like, that's. And then he'd be like, try this one. This one's plum wine, and be like, that's good. And then he had some, and he sent me home with a bottle that says tropical fruit, and he was telling me, he goes, the fruit from this wine comes from all over. Like that's all I know about it. The bottle just says tropical fruit wine, and I'm afraid to open it.
I'm gonna try it.
Hey, come on over. I'll let you try it.
No, that reminds me of like when I was just making all that random kombucha, and then we would just have people like drink it. Like that.
Right.
I don't know. Probably not the safest thing, but it's probably not that dangerous. But you really do have to control like your environment if you're gonna make wine that's like reproducible. It
was so dusty down there, and like, I mean, it was like dark and cool, which is like fine for all of that. But like, he showed us like he had like one of those machines that pumps water into it, and it has all these little tubes that come out, so you have all the wine bottles sitting on it, and it sprays water up through all like, but it wasn't water; it was like a cleaning solution. But even then, I like was staring at this thing, and I could just like see all this like grime on the inside of it because it was a clear.
Was it white?
What? The grime?
Was it like white, like a white film?
No,
because yeast is also like a white film, and it looks kind of like nasty, like in wine.
It's just dirt.
Dirt. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you remember? I don't know if you remember this, but I bought this glass jar. And I poured like half of it with kombucha. And then I just bought like grape juice, like just pure grape juice from like Walmart or whatever. And I threw wine yeast in there and just like let it sit for a couple months.
Did it blow up?
No, I like degassed it a couple times, but it was really good, but it was just like weird. I don't know how to describe it. Like it tasted like red wine, but like more vinegary. I don't know.
Vinegar.
It's unique.
That's funny. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I don't know. I find that stuff pretty cool. Like, especially, I watched a documentary on it, and some of these guys, they own these they own these farms in France, and there's cellars on the farm that they've been making wine there for like 200 or 300 years. And there's like, that yeast is like native to just like, it's like growing on like the rocks or like the stone in that cellar. And like, that's it. And they have to like protect it from outside bacteria. So they have to like sanitize like around it, but they don't want to kill the stuff in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they can like say, I mean, it's part of the marketing, but they can basically say like, oh, you'll never have a wine that tastes like this because this bacteria is unique to right here.
There's I mean, that's the same thing I think like what you were saying with the kombucha. Even though I think that's probably I mean, I can taste wine, but I don't think I can taste it that well.
Yeah,
I think
I've never been
kombucha.
good at. Nah. Or like people that say they can. I don't know. Like taste like
wine's bad.
Differences between like liquor and stuff. Yeah, that's what I would say. Like, I can tell good or bad, but then I can't really like tasting notes and stuff like that.
Yeah, I went to a like I swear it was like a 15-minute like how to taste wine thing, and we were joking because we were like, this one tastes a little bit like a leather boot. And the woman came up like
was she mad?
The professional. No, she was like, oh yes, hints of leather. Yes, that's right. And we were like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Guess we're pretty good at this.
No, the only time I did a tasting, it was really nice. They like took us down into this, like their cellar. I mean, it was newer, but you're like kind of underground. And I had COVID like the week before.
Good time.
Yeah, and it was like the first or second time I got COVID, so it like actually fried my nose. I could taste nothing at all. And then like they come around, they keep asking you like, oh, what is like?
Yeah.
You taste this? Yeah, I taste it.
You're like, I have COVID. Thank you.
Yeah, it's pretty brutal.
Oh my gosh. I've been trying different ways of making coffee. Back on the coffee. So
Oh yeah, you.
I've been
Yeah, go
tinkering
ahead.
with the siphon. I got a siphon, and
How's it working?
it tastes like pretty normal, like drip coffee, I would say.
Yeah.
It's fun. You get a little flame you can mess with.
What is it like a Bunsen burner?
Yeah. Pretty, I mean, yeah, it's a little
Yeah.
butane torch. You turn up the dial and it cranks up the flame. There's like ways you can dial it in. I haven't quite gotten there. And there's
You run it
supposed to,
through a filter?
there's a reusable, like, it's like a little metal circle with some holes in it, but then that's surrounded by like a cloth that's like cinched down on that.
Is it like you change the cloth out every time or
No, you just,
no?
I just run it under hot water and it rinses it out.
That's weird. So does it pull the oil out or does the oil go through?
I think some oil gets through. It probably absorbs a lot, and then when I rinse it out, it probably gets a lot out. But it still makes it pretty clean, and it's fun. There's like, because what happens is the water's at the bottom in the bottom chamber, and when it gets hot, it goes up to the top where the grounds are.
Yeah.
And then you're supposed to hold, like, keep the flame on to hold it up there, at the top, so it can brew. And you're supposed to kind of like stir it a little bit and then like let it sit, and then when you take the flame off it goes back down to the bottom, and you're supposed to have like a nice mound of coffee in the upper part left behind. Like your leftover grounds are supposed to be in a mound shape if they're perfect, if they're like well distributed in the water.
Okay.
And I can't get that to work.
Like you need to
just like
pull like a different amount of pressure to get that mound or what?
It's something with like,
does it make a vacuum or what is like what's siphoning?
I don't know. It's literally
because like what you're describing just sounds like a mocha pot, but like you can see everything. Like it's just with like glass.
It's a lot like the mocha pot if the grounds were in the top, and if there were.
Wait, I thought you said the grounds were above the water.
They are. So I can go get it. I'll just go get it.
Okay.
We'll have show and tell. I'll be right back.
Yeah, hurry up.
What?
Do you want to cut this out, or do you want me to ramble for?
You should ramble.
Nah, you got this. You can cut this like 30 seconds out. Hurry up. Run fast.
All right, so this is my heat source.
Okay.
And pretty much just
Sorry, that was unnecessary.
Give it a little.
Okay. Oh, that's nice.
So anyway,
Cody would light cigars with that.
Yeah. It could be used for whatever you want.
Okay.
But it's butane, and it's good. So anyway, that sits under
the water.
This.
Oh. Okay.
So it sits right in this little gap here. And so when you start, I gotta move my microphone. When you start, you have. I can put I brought the filter up to show you too. I've got this in here pretty tight. So this top part just comes out, and when you're prepping it, this is the filter here.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, it's kind of blown out.
Looks like the plug in the top of your toilet.
Sure. So this drops through. There's a spring, and there's a little catch. And so you pull it, and so there's tension from the spring keeping
that's what makes the vacuum, maybe.
No, there's air can still get through there just fine.
Oh, okay.
But what happens is there's a seal around here, and you put water in the lower chamber, and you heat up the bottom chamber, and this makes a seal around here. And then when it gets hot enough, all that water just gets sucked up through the tube, ends up in the in the top with the grounds. And you keep the flame on, And when you're done, basically as soon as you pull the flame away,
Comes
it all
back down.
drains right back down into the bottom, and you take the top off and you serve it out of here. You just like pour it out of there.
Ooh. It looks cool.
It's fun. It's cool.
I think I had this one time at a coffee shop, and I was like, I don't.
You actually found it at a coffee shop? I see. The thing was, I was.
So.
I've heard about it and I wanted to try it, and I was like, I can't find. Like, I looked up places and I couldn't find anything near me, and I was like, it's just going to be easier to get a siphon and start trying to make it myself.
I think I've seen it.
I think it's popular in Japan. I think they have like shops where like that's all they do there is siphon.
Yeah, I think I've seen it, but now I'm getting confused if I'm thinking if it was just a pour over. But I'm pretty sure no, like where I was at, like you could pick, of course you could only pick like a single origin coffee or whatever. Oh, pick our single origin coffee that's $5 instead of $3 for the drip or whatever. And then we grind it fresh, and then you pick like, do you want a pour over or a siphon? And then they like put it on the counter and do it for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, I've only made mine. I've only had it a little bit, so I've only made it a couple times. But it's fun. It takes a little bit of time, and there's a little bit of cleanup involved. But it's nice for the weekends.
Lots of parts.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
Have you ever tried to make tea with that?
No. I bet it would work just fine.
Have you ever experimented with your mocha pot? It says like, do not do anything other than water and coffee.
No, I haven't thought of it.
There's like people on Instagram that boil milk in it and like they make like lattes and stuff.
That sounds gross.
And then everybody in the comments is like, do not ever do this. You will like ruin it. Like you're going to have burnt milk in there forever.
Yeah, that's what I would imagine. It would get kind of nasty.
Actually, though, I have done it. Not in the bottom, but in the top. If you put it in there, it won't actually boil. It'll just get kind of like warm, and then the coffee will just like go in there, and it kind of mixes on its own. Like chocolate, I put a bar of chocolate across the top of it one time, and it like melts as the coffee comes out.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
I'm trying to think. I've never done a complete tea, but I've done a coffee and a tea mix.
You mix them together?
Yep.
Oh. I don't.
Have you ever had yerba mate?
Yeah.
Yeah, like a coffee and then like a black like yerba mate. Grind them together. I'm trying to think what else I've done. You can put herbs in, like you put like cinnamon and clove and stuff. But if you do that, like a lot of times it messes it. Since the spices are so fine, they like plug the pores on the filter, and then the pressure gets really high, and then it like starts like steaming out or like overflowing.
You've done that?
Yeah. I don't know. I need to like maybe replace my gasket or mess with it again, because every now and then I'll get like too much coffee in there or something, and like some will like run out the side, and I'm like, that's the one thing I can think is that I'm either filling it too full and the pressure gets too high, or that my gasket's messed up. No, I don't ever tamp it.
Yeah,
don't do that.
Don't do that.
Yeah, I abuse my mocha pot.
I baby mine.
Everything's an experiment.
Sometimes I put milk in my coffee, like once a month.
Yeah. I just make lattes for Olivia. I don't really do them for myself.
That's what I make. I'll make one for myself very rarely with the espresso machine and the little steam wand thing.
All right. Well, we made it 40 minutes on drinks.
All right.
Have we talked about Disney World before on here? Because you were just there. Have we done it?
I was just there. I don't
episode
think
on.
we have.
We did?
I don't.
No.
No, I don't think so.
I thought we did one on theme parks once upon a time.
I mean,
Whatever. Let's do it
100
again.
episodes. It's hard to remember what all
How
we've
was
done.
Epcot?
Epcot was good. I had a day and a half there.
Wow.
I had a good time.
So, what is your approach to Epcot? Do you stay on in like the future side, or do you just like hang out in the countries? Or
We were bouncing around a lot.
wow,
But their future area is gone through a lot of changes in the past couple years.
yeah.
They're building like even more. There's like new buildings coming up.
Do you like?
I remember like more kind of like showroom stuff when I was younger, of them just like displaying random technologies that didn't really seem useful. And they don't seem to have any of that anymore.
Well, did you ride? There's like a ride that is not very popular. It is.
I probably wrote it.
You wrote everything. Why can't I think? It's called like something Earth or like the
land, living with the land.
Living with the Land. Yeah, they have they have those greenhouses, and they have
those are fun.
Yeah, those are pretty cool. And they're like, ooh, here's our high tech. Apparently, they actually do research there in those greenhouses.
Yeah, I saw a guy behind a window with a computer.
Yeah.
He's probably on Facebook or something. But yeah, no, that stuff's cool, and they used to have a lot more of that, and I don't know. I feel like they could get back to it. It's because like it felt like what was open there, like that wasn't under construction, was just like, excuse me. They have like a really big Starbucks, a really big gift shop.
That's it.
And then like some rides and attractions and stuff. And like I felt like a lot of their old Future World stuff. I mean, I might have missed a pavilion or something, but or
you know what made me mad?
Yeah.
They repurposed the Viking ride into Frozen or something like that.
Yeah, that Viking ride was so good.
Yeah.
It was just like just original, like not connected to anything. That's why it was so great.
Yeah.
They have so little of that. Living with the land is what we need to hold on to.
That's right.
Oh my God.
They still have Spaceship Earth though, right?
Yeah. Yeah, we went on that, and that hasn't gone through an update since like maybe 2010.
Except for like the exit, they have all kinds of random stuff.
Yeah, that's right.
They're like, here's all the videos we took of you on the ride or something.
Yeah, and even that's pretty dated from like their current like ride photo system and stuff. That one was the only one. All the other ones you can go and like tap your card and save your photos to your account. And that one you have to go and type in your email at the end. It's like, ugh.
Did you eat and drink in the countries at all?
Yeah, Jordan.
I think that's the way to do it.
We did a little dessert tour. Just kept hitting all the sweets. That was pretty good. Yeah,
Did you try the grapefruit radler?
No, I did not.
Oh man,
I didn't have a lot of alcohol, and honestly, we had my full day there. My lunch was so big that I hardly ate dinner. For dinner, I shared a pretzel, like a jumbo pretzel from Germany. But we ate at their new Space 220 restaurant, and it had like pretty big portions. And I got like a salmon tartare.
Okay.
As like an appetizer. And then I got like a New York strip or something as my lunch. It's like I was not hungry for dinner. It was pretty cool though.
You know what else is kind of cool there that probably doesn't get a lot of action is the American. America is
Yeah,
one of the countries there, right?
yeah, it is.
Yeah, which is strange, but that theater there is pretty cool.
Yep.
You do that?
I didn't go in the theater, but I hit up the American Pavilion when I had to use the restroom because I knew nobody would be there,
Yeah,
and I was right.
the theater's great. I like to just do like the old stuff at Disney if I have to be there.
There's plenty of that still around, and yeah, I liked hitting all that up. We spent my half day at Epcot. Didn't ride anything, just hung out in the countries.
Yeah. Do you go to the Great Bear Jamboree
The country
or
bears,
Country
yeah.
Bears?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, and
oh yeah.
good
Oh, it's so
choice.
good.
Is the President's Hall back open? And
Yeah, I think so.
okay, it wasn't open when I was there.
I did not have time. We had a lot to get done. Not a lot of time.
Hmm.
But yeah, it was good.
I heard the weather wasn't too great.
We had one rainy day. Um, the rest was fine. We got held up leaving. That was when it started getting real stormy.
Hmm.
But that's fine.
Do you stay at Disney?
Yeah.
Where at?
We had a couple nights at Port Orleans,
Where
and I
is
got
that?
vignette. What is that?
Yeah, where? Or oh, it's the lodge, isn't it? Or
No,
no?
that's Fort Wilderness.
Oh, where's
Fort Wilderness. Port Orleans is like kind of beside. Um, oh my god, it's like off beside like the Disney Studios in Epcot. It's kind of over in that area, and it's a pretty big area, and it's made up of two Orleans themed hotels.
is it on the water or no?
It has a river.
Oh, but it's not on like the main like monorail loop thing.
No.
Okay.
That our later we stayed at the Boardwalk Hotel, which is on the it's like behind France of Epcot.
Oh, that's cool.
And so you can take a boat to Epcot or you can walk. So
I
we
saw
walked
that.
because it
Yeah,
was
there's
like
like
a
a
5 minute
canal
walk.
that goes
Yeah.
everywhere. That's cool.
Yep.
Disney, what a place.
What a place.
It's like its own. It's like bigger than a city. It's like a couple cities.
It's so big. Yeah, we were there on Marathon Week.
What's
We
Marathon Week?
They have like a series of like 5Ks and marathons.
Oh, did Jordan run?
No. But we like it's kind of crazy because it draws a lot of runners to the area, but also there's a lot of people already wanting to go to parks.
Yeah.
And like some of the runs go through the parks before they open. So like the runners have to like get ready to run at like 2 or 3 a.m.
Whoa.
when they start. And like most of them are done by early morning. And one of the days we went and we had a 40-minute bus ride, what would usually be like 10 or 15 minutes, just because of the traffic, because one of the roads was just part of the race.
Yeah.
And we got to see them, and it was like we got up there and I was expecting to see runners, but it was people, mostly just people slowly walking. And it was like the last of the full marathon crowd. And they had been going for like 8 hours. And they were just like kind of pudging along there.
Yeah, it sounds brutal. It's so humid in Orlando too. It's just
Yeah.
it's literally a swamp.
Jordan had said she had been talking about running those races, and then when she saw like the crowds and like kind of saw what the races were, she was like, I don't know if that's worth it. Because like it's mostly running on a highway,
Yeah.
and that's about it. Like you don't like anything you want to do Disney wise on top of that is on like you still have to go and buy all that too. Like you don't get a day at the park with the race or anything. Like
Yeah.
so it's kind of crazy.
Disney's expensive.
Mm-hmm.
But what a place. It actually is insane that somebody even thought to build something like that. I'm not sure that it could be done again.
I don't think so.
Actually, I've heard that they're building they're building one in like Saudi Arabia or something. Like not a Disney, but like a giant like resort theme park thing. Maybe somewhere like that, or like in somewhere, maybe if there's like an undeveloped place in South America, you could try to do it or something, but it'd just be so difficult.
Those like Saudi desert like attractions that I keep hearing about seem so like it's like futuristic because I guess like there's so much like sci-fi that takes place in just like desert, but it also seems like so far out of reach like partially because of like desert conditions, but like I don't know, it seems
how would you get like I'm sure the logistics to run Disney are insane,
right?
like the amount of food and drink in Disney,
Right?
like just plumbing and stuff, like
yeah, and it's next to a major like city,
right? But it would be a disaster. Like imagine if Disney lost like power for like a very extended period of time, or water or something. It'd be a catastrophe.
Right. Right. Yeah.
That'd be hilarious. Somebody should make like an apocalyptic movie, but it's like it's in the Disney parks.
It's just they didn't pay their power bill.
Because people would go nuts.
They're just like stuck up there on the monorail, like can't get down.
Yeah, I feel like Disney is already like it's on the fringe of being apocalyptic. Like everybody is like kind of on edge sometimes at Disney. Yeah, wow.
It's pretty crazy that like when you're there, it's just like it's kind of like going to like an island where everything you're doing there is under the Disney umbrella, unless you like you have to like rent a car or have a car to get out of there. You know, like
does Disney have a jail?
I don't know. People talk about it. People talk about Disney jail.
Do they have like a police force? They have to, right?
I mean, yeah.
This would be a great movie. All right.
And Mickey's the mayor.
Yeah. He's like, oh yeah, you could do so much with that. But yeah, why hasn't anybody built like Westworld in Saudi Arabia or something?
I think it's just hard to do stuff in sand. They're trying to build that, you know, that like really long looking city thing that they're trying to build. That's the only way I can describe it. They're building like well, I say they're building if you imagine just like a very narrow strip of building, and then but there's two and they're parallel, and like between them is like their outdoor space, like garden and grass between these two strips of building, and it's supposed to be like insanely long, and it's going to be like a city. That's just this strip, and they've like I don't know, they've like had groundbreaking and like there's like some digging and pouring or something, but I'm like I don't know, you know?
Yeah, sounds like a mall,
Yeah, I feel like it's
outdoor
going to be
mall.
one of those things where, like, it's these big aspirations, and then it kind of turns into, like, it's going to be a lot smaller than they said.
Where's
It's
it
going to be,
at?
like, a lot worse. What?
Where is it?
I don't know, Tel Aviv, maybe? A big, long city
Never
in
heard of it.
the desert.
Oh, I mean, I've heard of Tel Aviv, but I've never heard of this
They're
project.
calling it The Line.
Hmm.
It's a linear smart city in
But
Saudi Arabia.
how linear would have to be like the least efficient way to make a smart city, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Like
I mean, what if you
Epcot
lived
was
at one end? That would
I
suck.
swear we talked about this before. Epcot was a smart city, but it was like one of those
Yeah,
like
because it was like a hub and everything
circular.
worked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine if they didn't cancel that and it was actually a city.
They say they're going to build this for $100 to $200 billion.
How many people are people supposed to live in it?
Like, yeah. I mean, it says it's supposed to be 110 miles long, run entirely on renewable energy.
Where did you confirm where it is?
It says Neom, which is a new city.
Is it in a country?
If you just look, it's called The Line in Saudi Arabia.
Oh, it's in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. I don't know. That's interesting. 110 miles. That is so long. What?
Yeah, I'm like, I don't think they can do it. Like, this is crazy.
I mean, I say why not? Just do it.
Don't worry, they've already put down
Let's make a big line.
4,500 piles in the ground.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to build experimental cities, there's not that many places left, probably. I don't know if that's true.
It was only announced 3 years ago.
Surprised nobody's tried to do anything in northern Canada.
Why?
I don't know.
I don't know if anybody wants to go up there.
But what if you made something really cool up there? It can't be any worse than like as cold as it is there. Like it can't be worse than you know what I'm saying? It's like comparable to the desert situation. It's just a different extreme.
Yeah, you're right. Hey, the line's going to be good. Artificial intelligence will monitor the city, says Wikipedia.
Oh, sweet. That sounds awesome. It sounds like a prison.
It will improve daily life for its citizens. Yeah, that's what they say when you get locked up there.
When you get transferred from Disney jail to there.
Yeah, to the line. Throw them in the line.
You're going to the line. They should make like a circle that's connected to the line.
It says the line will consist of connected communities called modules. Yeah. Why not just call them communities?
That sounds like a lot of fun, doesn't it? You will live in a module and you'll be monitored by artificial intelligence.
You will be improved.
Okay.
Oh, geez. I don't know.
I watched...
Excuse me.
Back in the heyday of Vice, they had this TV show about this guy that he bought a bunch of land in, I don't know where it was, like Belize or somewhere in Central America. He was just like this like 30 or 40-year-old guy that had money from like, they never really said like why he had money, but he bought this land and then he started like a TV show, game show type of, well, it wasn't really a game show. I guess it was just a TV show.
Okay.
No, he called it a school.
Oh my God.
It was like a school for like renewable living or whatever. And so he sells this thing. And so all these like 20-year-old kids, instead of going to college, they like paid tuition to move to this school. but their schooling was they had to build the town, like the village.
Oh my god.
And then they were in this like reality TV show that Vice was filming.
Yes. This is all it's all coming back. I've seen bits of this.
It was crazy though. So they just all get there and they thought there was like a town already, and he's like, no, like it's part of your education. We're gonna build like this renewable town. Like let's cut down all these like trees.
Wasn't it
and,
kind of like Western?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, I've been inspired by like like frontiersmen and stuff, and like building cities in the West, but we're gonna like do this in Central America. We're gonna build this like commune in the jungle.
I remember seeing bits of this, and but all I can remember is like the kids who cried.
Yeah,
like the kids were
they just like wanted to leave. Like the founder, he didn't even live there. He would like drive. He like lived in the city. He would like drive in at the end of every week. They'd be like, we're not like we're starving. Like we're not getting enough food. And he's like, I don't know. Like you got to go like shake some more coconut trees or something.
And didn't he like he pressured them by like there was some deal with like if you left or something, and they basically like they were like would like call you names and stuff.
Probably, but I think they all like signed contracts to go live there.
Yeah, I bet some families
crazy. I wonder whatever happened to that because
what was that called?
Stopped the show.
What was that called?
I don't know.
I'm gonna find it.
Like you could never like you could kind of like they kept framing it like is he like a charlatan or is he like legit? Like where did his money come from? Yeah, it was cool.
What was it? What was this freaking called?
Vice in general used to be pretty cool. I guess I don't really follow it anymore, but
oh my gosh, I can't find it. I know what this is. Give me another minute here.
But maybe that city is there and it's built. You can go visit. We could build the Coyote Cast city.
That'll be good. Kid Nation.
Kid Nation? What?
I think it was called Kid Nation. Yeah, give me one more minute here.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh my god, CBS.
CBS.
Mm-hmm.
They showed it for a while?
I think they did. Yeah. Yeah, I think there was I remember seeing something all about this. Oh my god. From Tom Foreman.
I mean, it would have been really cool if it worked. Or maybe it did work, I don't know. But
the producer is best known for Kid Nation and a documentary on 9/11. Called 9/11. Yeah, so that's that.
I guess the Starship Texas or whatever is sort of a like startup boomtown. I haven't really heard much about it though. The place that Elon created.
Oh,
and like only SpaceX employees live there.
Sounds like a work camp to me.
Yeah, it might just be like a trailer park. I don't know.
Oh boy. Pausing for a water break. All right.
We can wrap this one up if you want, unless you have another topic you'd like to discuss.
Here's to another 100 episodes.
Here's to another 100. This is, I don't know, probably the 5th unfiltered coffee.
That seems about right. We can just guess every time.
I think it's 5. That would be my guess.
It's a good guess.
All right, let's cut it.
Alrighty.